Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are digging into one of those Hollywood rumors that just won't die. It's about alleged violence between two of the biggest stars on the planet, Sean Penn and Madonna, and it's been following them for more than 30 years. You know, it's a story most people thought was settled history, but then a lawsuit popped up and forced everyone to take a much closer look.
So this is the big one, the question at the heart of it all. It's a pretty shocking allegation, right? It's become this kind of dark piece of celebrity folklore. But to really get it, before we jump into the history, we've got to look at what happened recently to drag this whole thing back into the spotlight.
Okay, so everything blew up again back in 2015, and it all started with a single comment in a big-time interview. This wasn't just some small controversy either. It sparked a massive, multi-million-dollar lawsuit that ended up forcing this really old, really ugly story right back out into the open.
So this is it. This is the quote that lit the match. It's from Lee Daniels, the co-creator of the show Empire. Now, he was in the middle of defending his star, Terrence Howard, who had actually admitted to hitting his wife. And in the process of defending him, Daniels just casually dropped Sean Penn's name, basically lumping him in with a history of violence. And boom, legal firestorm.
Penn did not take that lightly. His response was fast and it was huge. He sued Lee Daniels for defamation for $10 million.
So what exactly is defamation? Well, it's when you damage someone's good reputation, either by speaking it or writing it. And Penn's whole argument was pretty straightforward. He said that by throwing his name in there like that, Daniels had seriously hurt his reputation, both personally and professionally, and he was not going to let it slide.
Okay, and this is where the whole thing just gets wild. The lawsuit is chugging along, and it becomes clear that there's really only one person who could provide the most important piece of evidence, the one person who could clear it all up, and that was Madonna.
So what did she do? She submitted a sworn affidavit. Now, that's a big deal. It's a statement made under oath, meaning you can't lie. And in this statement, she didn't dance around the issue. She confronted those rumors head on.
And I mean, she got specific. This wasn't some generic, "Oh, that's not true." No, she called out the single most infamous story of them all, the one about the baseball bat.
Her final word on it was just completely absolute. She stated, under penalty of perjury, that Sean Penn had never, ever physically assaulted her. I mean, think about that. This is a direct, legally binding statement that just completely contradicts a story that, let's be honest, a lot of people had accepted as fact for almost 30 years.
Okay, so you might think, case closed, right? Well, not so fast. Because this is where the story gets super complicated. That sworn statement from 2015, it seems to fly directly in the face of an official police report that Madonna herself filed way back in the day. And this is really the core of the whole mystery, right here. On one hand, you have her 2015 sworn statement saying it never happened. But on the other hand, you have this official record from December 28, 1988. And on that day, Madonna went to the sheriff's office in Malibu and she filed a complaint saying Penn had assaulted her. And it wasn't just a complaint, it led to actual official charges being filed against him.
But then, just a week later, it was all over. Madonna went back and withdrew her complaint. She asked for the charges to be dropped. And after that, radio silence. She almost never spoke about it in public again until, of course, that 2015 affidavit.
So this leaves us with a huge question, doesn't it? If Madonna, under oath, officially denied the whole thing, why was this rumor so powerful? Why did so many people believe it for so long?
Well, the answer probably has less to do with that specific incident and more to do with Sean Penn's well-documented public history of aggression. To really get why this story stuck, you have to zoom out from his relationship with Madonna and just look at his broader track record, a record that, by the way, is not up for debate.
Yeah, look at this. This isn't gossip or speculation. This is a list of public, documented events. We're talking assaulting journalists in '85, getting arrested in Macau in '86 for allegedly dangling a photographer over a 9th floor balcony, and then escaping. Then in '87, he actually went to jail for punching a movie extra. You see what I'm saying? This pattern of behavior, it's the perfect environment for a rumor like the one about Madonna to not just survive, but to really take root and grow.
And it wasn't just run-ins with the paparazzi either. This stuff spilled over onto movie sets. His co-star John Leguizamo talked about how, during the filming of Casualties of War, Penn would repeatedly slap him for real, because he doesn't believe in stage combat. So this wasn't just an act for the cameras. This was happening in his professional life too.
So, after all that,
The lawsuit, Madonna's denial, this look back at his history. Where do things stand now? What's the aftermath?
Well, that big defamation lawsuit, the one that started this whole recent chapter, it was settled out of court. Lee Daniels issued a public apology to Sean Penn, and instead of a huge $10 million check, Daniels made a donation to Penn's Haitian relief charity. So, from a legal standpoint, the case was officially closed.
But the story itself, it doesn't really end there. Just in 2023, Penn himself brought up his past in an interview. He was talking about the Will Smith slap at the Oscars and basically said, hey, why did I go to jail for what I did? And he's still sitting there. It shows he's very, very aware of his own history, and he's not afraid to bring it up himself.
So what are we left with? It's this incredibly tangled web. You've got Madonna's sworn, legal denial of this specific rumor, but that's up against a conflicting police report from back in the day and this undeniable public record of his violent behavior. It's like you have two different versions of the truth, and they're both staring right at you. Ultimately, this whole thing is just a fascinating look at how celebrity, the media, and our own collective memory work. And it leaves you with this one big question, right? When a story becomes a legend, when it's just part of the culture, can the facts ever really change it? Does a sworn statement from the only other person who was there actually have the power to erase the story? Or does it just make the legend even more complicated?